we found them in the Kellogg factory.
This looks insane, sticking your hand right inside of a bald eagle's mouth. Okay, so, do you have gloves?
Yep.
Did you have a net?
No.
Get a net. Do you have a gun?
Yes.
Good. Grenades?
Let's fix them up on the way.
Okay, we're good to go. All right, so if there's any problem when you get there or you're not sure, give me a shout, all right?
Yeah.
I didn't buy that. Right now we're headed to a driver's ed place in London. We got a call about a red-tail hawk baby that's just down on the ground for about 4 days now. We're unsure if it has any injuries or what's going on, so we're just going to check it out. They said that they've seen the mom around, so I guess we're just going to go to the scene and see what's happening, and we may have to take it, we may just put it in the nest. We don't know the situation yet, so once we get there, then we'll take it as it goes. I got Ashley and Kirk in the back here. They're good with raptors, so they'll know how to handle the situations, and I'm just here for more of a learning process of how to deal with them. So yeah, it'll be exciting little rescue we're gonna do today. I don't know, I actually don't really know much about raptors at all. First we're gonna see if there's anyone around, if they have any witnesses or where they can point us where the red tail is, and then we'll assess the bird and see if it has any injuries, if it needs to be helped, if we can put it back in the nest. Basically, it could be anything when we show up, so we just have to be prepared for anything. We have a...
You also have a monster, right?
Yeah, we have the mom too, so she could be dive bombing us or trying to attack us if we go near her baby. So we have to take in all that into consideration, so it could be time consuming as well. So we have no idea what we're getting ourselves into.
Well, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Fledgling is just on the ledge over here.
okay.
Yeah. So if you just go around the building, now Mom was waiting up here, and Dad's not too far away.
Okay.
So he's just on the ledge.
So he's on the ledge down on that side of the boat?
So if you just walk down,
Yeah.
So when we arrived on scene at the drive test center, we were pointed in the direction of the young hawk by some of the employees that worked there.
yeah, he's doing not too bad. You'll see him just in the little alcove there.
Okay, good to see him. When it comes to baby raptors, we always, well, we try our best to kind of to go out ourselves, just simply because there is a danger of mom and dad attacking you when you approach the baby.
How would you describe it?
Nicole, can you spot for the mom and dad?
Yep. Well, Ashley and Kirk were dealing with the baby, and I was on parent watch. So a lot of hawks, they will dive bomb you is what we call it. Usually we wear helmets, so they'll come down and try to like nip you on the head or anything like that to get their baby. Yeah, I haven't seen any parents yet. I was there making sure no one got a talon in the head or in the arm or something like that.
Okay. Don't fly away. I swear to God.
Wings look fine.
So Kirk and I tried to grab her. I failed miserably. So Kirk managed to snatch her up, thankfully, after she kind of flew maybe a couple feet. Thanks a lot, Kirk.
Let me get him under control here.
Okay, I need a wing.
His wings seem fine.
Yeah, well, she looks great, actually. And so we palpated her wings just to see if we could feel any fractures.
There's still no signs of repairs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully it stays like that, because I really don't want to be dealing with some angry moms and dads. We checked her keel to see if there was any degree of emaciation we needed to be worried about, if mom and dad weren't coming down to feed her. Okay, can I feel her keel?
So for a keel, it's on their chest bone. It just runs down their body length, and you can feel it if you put your finger on it. So Usually if they're fed well, they usually have a lot of like fatty tissue that's around it. So if it's light, you can barely put your hand on it, but if it's low, you can probably go a good like centimeter or two, and it's just really, really sharp. That's not what you want. That means the baby hasn't been fed or hasn't been eating.
She's pretty low. Like she's not like awful, but she is low though.
She's been here for 4 days. So
Yeah, well I mean like I don't know if she would be that low if mom and dad were
feeding her?
feeding her, yeah. She's a beauty though.
No biting. Do you see a nest anywhere, Nicole?
It's up on the silo.
Up at the top.
Yeah, at the very top. So like she doesn't need to go back in the nest though regardless. Like I mean even if we were to put her back, we wouldn't be able to do that.
Does she look good?
Yeah.
Well, she does. Like, she looks really good.
She's alert.
She's low, though. That's the issue. But
She was perching, so...
I think what we should do probably is give Brian a call and just explain the situation to him, just to see.
Sure.
Because if it was me, I don't know if I'd take her back to Salthaven.
When we showed up at the drive center, we just went around the back side of it. It kind of looked like a factory building in the back. So what we did is we found the hawk, and he was just sitting on the side of where like a bolted up window was.
And when we managed to catch her, we checked her wings out and checked her keel out and determined that she wasn't injured in any way. But she was a bit low, which means she hadn't been fed for a while.
I think what we should do probably is give Brian a call and just explain the situation to him, just to see.
It's a big field.
Hello.
Hi, it's me.
Hi.
Okay, so we have the hawk, and she looks like she's in pretty good condition. She's not dehydrated. I can't find any fractures on her wing. Her tail feathers are straight. The only thing I'm concerned about a little is that she's a bit low.
Well, young hawks always are, right? Because their metabolism is so fast. It's 3 times out of a normal healthy adult.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. Yeah, make sure he has to be rescued, Ash, because I don't really fancy driving all the way back out there tonight.
Well, I don't think she has to. That's why I'm calling you, just to double check.
Have you seen the parents around?
No, we don't see the parents. But they have been seen here today.
Okay. Well, then I think I would.
Do you see that?
I think I'd put him out there and have the people watch to see if mom or dad comes back to feed him.
Okay.
All right.
She has a bit of a crooked tongue. We're just noticing now. Would that change anything for you? Because she's been on the ground for 4 days. She should be able to fly a lot better than she's been demonstrating. Wouldn't you think?
Oh God, it's hard to say. I wish I was there.
Well, what do you need to know?
How low is she?
Well, I mean, she's...
What's that?
She's not the worst I've ever felt, but she's low. Like, I mean, her keel's pretty sharp.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, or 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Where 3 being the worst. Where is she on that scale in terms of lowness?
And 1 is like perfect?
1 is good, yeah.
I'd say maybe a 2. Maybe a 2, nearly a 2.5. Well, can you do scale of 1 to 10 again? Because I'd give her a 70%.
Okay. Okay. Well, if the parents are still around, they are going to be feeding, and I think we should leave well enough alone.
Nicole, Kirk, and I we're not as experienced as Brian when dealing with the public and assessing with animals. So when we went out on our own, like, it's not the first time we've done that, but we usually do call him prior to making a final decision, just because we do want to get verification on what we're seeing, and if he gives us the go-ahead, then it usually ends up being okay, especially with baby raptors.
Okay, can you take a picture for me, Ash? Text it to me.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that right now.
All right.
Okay, bye. Well, I feel like it should be able to be a lot more powerful given that she's been on the ground for so long.
We could throw her in the air, see how well she does.
No. Because we might never catch her again.
Well, she can't fly that far, and if she can, then good.
Ooh, that's a nice shot. Sorry, she's really pretty.
That was a
There's
good
mom.
scream.
There's mom.
The mother arrived on the scene. She flew in screaming at us.
You could hear her kind of do like a bit of a screech as she landed on the silo, and we're like, oh, okay. So yeah,
She's
that's
struggling
mom.
a lot more now. The baby responded to her, so we knew it was the mom.
Okay, so
Do you want to send that to Brian?
I did. I'm gonna call him again, but in the meantime,
Jurassic
Do you
Park.
want to put her in the box?
uh,
No visible will allow her not to dive bomb us.
yeah,
She's just watching right now.
don't make any sudden movements.
Well, my main concern, because I was the one holding the baby, so I was concerned that she was going to go after me, but she kept her distance. She landed first and just kind of scoped out the scene to see what was going on. So she wasn't being too aggressive right off the bat, so it wasn't too worrying.
Mom's back. Yeah, she's back. She ain't happy. Okay, so can we put her up in a tree? Okay, we're gonna do that then. Yeah, we'll do. Okay, bye. Okay, let's put her in here.
If there's an option to leave the bird in the wild with the parents, it's better to leave it with that, just because the parents know much better than we do how to raise their child. Just gotta find a good branch for her to sit on that's kind of far off the ground, but not too far.
Let's try going in here. We decided just to kind of take her off the site a bit, just kind of into a wooded area where she could sit up in a tree. That tree right there. Let's put her right there. Where she wasn't going to get into any trouble and she would be hidden from human interference, because sometimes mom and dad will not come down and feed the baby if there are too many people around. They just don't want to draw attention to their baby. There's so many factors you have to consider to determine whether or not the animal is safe and whether or not it's going to be able to survive after you leave it.
It's worrying leaving them out in the elements, I guess, but since the mom is still hanging around and she's aware of the baby, like she was calling out to it and it was calling back, so we know that they know they're there. So you just have to kind of have faith that the mom knows what to do, she knows how to raise her child. So I'm worried but cautiously optimistic that the baby will be fine.
Mom and dad were there, and raptors are notoriously protective of their young, notoriously. So I feel pretty confident, just based on past situations, that as long as mom and dad are willing, that baby will be just fine. I was a huge fan of SeaWorld when I was younger. My parents took us to Florida every year, so we were really lucky. And then I always wanted to go to SeaWorld. I always wanted to go look at the animals, and I was really lucky to have parents that would also encourage me to explore this passion of mine. It's always been there, and it's never really left. And I've known since I was very, very young that whatever I wanted to do in my future would have been with animals.
Ashley is kind of the first lady of Salthaven. She's amazing. She's a great researcher. She is totally dedicated, just absolutely amazing. She stays long hours.
This is my 4th year volunteering at Salthaven, and I got started here actually because I was looking for, I just left my job at animal control and I wanted to do something that, I don't know, worked for the well-being purely of the animals. Come on.
Well, she's definitely one of the most hardworking people that I know, alongside Brian. she's, just because of the sheer amount of hours that she puts into this, she's out here from like 9 in the morning till like 10 or 12 at night.
Ashley works through the Canada Summer Jobs program at Salthaven. Technically, she's only supposed to be here from 8 to 5, but rarely goes home before 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
She is here from like 8 a.m. and a lot of times she's here till midnight. She definitely puts in, you know, the most hours next to Brian for sure. She's a really caring person, and you can see that in the things that she does. She's very detail oriented. She really wants to do everything that she possibly can for the patients that are here.
I really like hiking, I guess. I like to go to different provincial or national parks and just explore and just hike, see the new sceneries. I love Point Pelee. It's probably one of my favorites. So I try to get up there for a weekend, at least a couple times during the summer, and just walk around, take pictures. I mean, humans, we cause so many problems to the environment, and it's nice just to be able to alleviate some of that suffering, I guess. Like if someone chops down a tree that a nest of baby birds is in, or a squirrel, it's nice to be able to, you know, help those baby birds out, I guess.
She helps care for the fawns, for the wood ducks, for the bunnies, and that's all on top of her office work, so, and the bats as well.
I do like bats just because they're so unique. I also enjoy the snakes because they're so unique, but I don't know, bats, they're just so, I guess they're so vital to our ecosystem, and they're so different compared to any other mammal here.
She cares a lot about them, especially the ones that she takes on, like the bats and the wood ducks and stuff like that. She worries a lot about them when she's not here. She comes out in the middle of the night to take care of them if they need to be taken care of. Very dedicated.
Is that everyone?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I do love the Canada geese. They're just really, really sweet, and a goose is chewing on my shoelace. Come on. You can't eat that. Eat this instead. I guess with them, because they're so easy, like it's always pretty positive with them. Like we get them in, we feed them, you know, we take care of them, and they just progress.
She's extremely knowledgeable. She has learned so much in her time here at Salthaven. She's been here longer than I have been, but I've really gotten to know her between last year and this year. She's a great resource for me if I'm unsure of something, if I have any questions about anything, or if I just want to double check. I feel really lucky to have her here when I'm on shift for sure.
They learn in their own free will.
Sure. I was just a volunteer for the last 3 years, so I was in the clinic like with Tammy and Kale. Now that I'm doing the more office side, like, yeah, I've gotten along with Ashley pretty well. Like, we joke around, and I can always come to her to questions, and she's always open to help you. And if you're doing something you're not comfortable, she'll take over, and she won't like judge you or be like, oh, well, you were trained on that. She is like a helping hand still. She'll be right in there if you ask her to do something.
There we go.
She's meticulous. She has become somebody that I have depended on, and maybe even too much in some cases. But yeah, she really is amazing. I've always had this active interest in wildlife and the things that happen in nature. And I think initially my wanting to help animals was just a desire to be close to them. But as time went on, I realized that there was much more of a need there than what my finite mind had captured initially.
So what's happened is this little guy's been run over by a car, and it's cracked his shell here. So what we're going to do is just add a little bit of support to both sides to keep it together and allow it to heal quickly. So we're going to rinse him off. We've had him soaking in a mild solution of betadine and hydrogen peroxide. We don't want to seal any bacteria or anything into that wound, so we wanted to make sure that that was cleaned out first. And then we're going to dry them off here and start the process. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put a brace on these two scoots and one here as well, so that we're going to pull all this together and keep it tight until it starts to make a bond, and then once it starts to heal, has a better chance of healing well and straight. The carapace here is just a little bit depressed, but I think that's okay. So what we're using here is just good old Ziploc ties. We're kind of like a gorilla mash unit out here, you know. We don't have a lot of the normal stuff. Oh, he's making an escape. Okay, we're going to need a higher bull now. He's kind of got the hang of this, how to get off. What we're going to do next, as soon as this glue dries, is we're going to insert the strap through these Ziploc ends, and that'll help to keep the shell together tightly so that it's going to heal. And the less of a gap there is between the two ends of the fracture, the faster it'll heal. So we'll just let that dry, and then we'll do the second part. Kayla, you're just in time. Come on over here. Put some gloves on. Normally we go like this, right? That stops them from moving around, eh? There we go. That should keep it stable anyway and help it to heal a little faster.
Sometimes in our attempts to be kind to wild animals, we can actually be doing them a disservice. One of the ways we do that is leaving food for them out at night. Those cute little raccoons that come one night and then the next night are tearing up the shingles on your roof trying to find a nesting spot become demons of your own device. Wildlife is intelligent and they can find food on their own. By bringing food in, you'll be helping them and you'll be helping yourself as well. I'm Brian Salt, helping you to keep the wild in wildlife.